Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Visible Lady of Faith coming to you with an overview of the Sunday school lesson entitled Counted as Righteous for Sunday, May the 12th, 2024. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, the godmothers, the play mothers, the aunties, the grandmothers, everybody. First question is, did Abraham and Sarah have faith?
The father of faith. Did he have faith? And
Did
he's
he
the
have
father.
faith?
And he's called the father of faith.
Father of faith.
Yes. So yeah, he had faith. But it's interesting to say that Abraham. It is said Abraham and Sarah. Sarah was Abraham. Yes, Abraham. They had to go through something to build his faith. The Mosaic law came into existence. So God's covenant with Abraham and Sarah was already in place before the Mosaic law. So the question is, Abraham and Sarah had faith. Abraham, I say yes.
What did they have faith in? You
Huh?
said, did they have faith? Faith in what?
You asked the question. So what are you trying to say?
Okay, did Abraham and Sarah have faith? And I just
Faith
thought
in
about
what?
did they have faith in? They had faith that God had promised him, like you said, he'd be a father of many nations. He'd have descendants, and they would have lots of land.
Well,
Is
see,
that correct?
he had faith in all of God's promises, and that includes he'd be the father of many nations, the land, and all the different things that was promised him. So he had faith God was going to keep his promise, and God did every
And,
step of the way.
and also he promised him that Sarah and Abraham would have a son. And what's let's see strange about that is they were both old. Sarah was past the age of conception, and they were when the angel appeared to them, they were skeptical. Yeah, they were skeptical about being told that they were going to have a child.
Yeah, when you turn around Sarah, because Sarah went took her handmaid Hagar.
Hagar,
Yeah,
yes.
and took Hagar to lay with Abraham and had a son called Ishmael.
Yeah, Sarah may have been jealous of Hagar because
But
they did have Ishmael
but see, I have
before Sarah and Abraham had Isaac.
yeah, but see the thing is, Hagar went away crying, and the angels had to stop her from running and told her to go back. You know, so Hagar felt a certain way because this is the way Sarah treated her.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't consider the other person's feeling. And matter of fact, Sarah, as far as I'm concerned, Sarah should be embarrassed because what God said, He came through on His promise, and she should be great. I mean, that's a miracle within itself. Consider her becoming like, well, we'll put it this way. Why? I can see that she should be proud what God did to her, because look what she did. She went presented Hagar to Abraham.
How can we relate to the situation between Abraham and Sarah and
Yeah.
their faith or their lack of faith?
Yep.
How can we relate to that? And how is that, knowing about them, how is that relevant for us today?
Yeah.
And I believe that, I mean, for them to have a child may have seemed like a hopeless situation. Like I said, she was past, age of conception. She had gone through menopause, and they were both old. So it's like, can their bodies handle, going through a pregnancy and having a child and all that? We can relate to it today. Sometimes we feel when we go through a seemingly hopeless situation, we can feel discouraged, or we can feel scared, or we can feel frustrated, or we can feel sad, or overwhelmed, because they probably felt overwhelmed, at the age they were, and say, what? So I can see them feeling
Well,
overwhelmed and having anxiety about it.
I mean, we've been in situations where, you get scared or discouraged because we've seen a lot of that because, I mean, we worked hard for the things that we do have, as a family. And, and still, even though we have members of the family has graduated from some very prestige university, but still is treated like second-class citizens in the communities and the environment that we work in. So, say,
So, what are some of the situations or challenges that cause us to feel this way? You know, be discouraged or scared or overwhelmed or frustrated. We can have like a sickness can make us
Yep.
feel that way, or
cancer strikes one of the family members.
yeah, right,
Yep.
yes, death or job loss or financial struggles.
Yep.
Or feeling trapped in an abusive situation or a dead end job, or it can be a loss of a loved one, or it can be a place where you feel that you can't be you, you can't be yourself.
That's true, because see, like one of my grandsons, my only grandson, he said, Grandpa, he said, why is it that black people gets harassed so much by the policemen? So I had to break that down and explain it to him. Why? Because people don't know that the police departments were formed, formed from back in the sense of this country that they don't want to talk about. Slavery, do this, and I couldn't do that. Now, when you want to get up in the pulpit or sit and call yourself a minister and try to tell me something, then how do I know you're not lying? I don't trust you anymore. So I have to start to really take the time, because all my that what I would consider in my friend circle that are white, we have spent time talking to each other and we get an understanding. But somebody I don't know, I'm just shaking my head. I'm just sitting there listening. Just anything, any little bitty thing, and if your conscience is bothering, that means God is speaking to you. That's how I see it. And you just got to from there. And the bottom line, he says, how is your faith a source of strength? You got to get, the only way you can get as strong is having a relationship with God, and over time, and you just keep doing it, and you're going to get stronger, and that's going to be your source of strength. So when something do come and happen, you got a lot of other stuff to build on and say, well, God helped me here, so why is he not going to help me here?
So my next question is, what does a relationship with God look like? You hear a lot of people say you have to have a relationship with God, you have to have a relationship with God, but I'm still honestly not clear about what that looks like.
See, it's interesting. She pops that question out really quick and said this. Then what in the world you do with the relationship with me? So you don't know what it looks like.
Work on it. We talk. We try to understand each other, and
she's right now answering her own question. Yeah, I'm glad I did not wrong. It made me stronger to stay and understand what I liked and I did not like, and it opened my eyes to see other things. So when my wife asked what kind of a relationship, that's the best way I can explain it. You need to be married to the Word of God. And when it creates anxiety or upsets you or something like that, keep reading. You'll get over yourself. And when you finally get over yourself, you're going to find, oh, why in the world I've been missing this all the time? Because then when people say they shout and everything else in church, you got something now to shout about, because God is delivering you from something.